postpartum blues are real. You should make the baby adjust to your life. And that's what makes it good. Surprisingly, 9 to 10 kilos to lose after I delivered. And that's not less. But I was very clear that I want to shed it off as soon as possible. Ensure that you prioritize yourself. And if you decide to prioritize yourself, 6 to 8 months is all you need to get back to what you were.
Yeah, this is superb, Raina. You are too good with fitness, travel, being with the babies. Hi दोस्तों, वेलकम टू आवर वन मोर पॉडकास्ट शो द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन शो। आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं वो सिर्फ एक सक्सेसफुल कॉर्पोरेट परफॉर्मर नहीं बल्कि एक सक्सेसफुल मदर भी हैं, एक फिटनेस एक्सपर्ट भी हैं, एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट इज़ द वे शी बैलेंसेस ऑल ऑफ इट, not just the family life or the professional life, but a lot more that comes in the package when a woman is all set to become a mother. So let me invite a mother influencer and an amazing HR for a startup in the edtech with a multi-crore turnover. Here we welcome Raina Mehta. Hey Raina, how are you?
Hi Kunal, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Extremely happy to see you the way I've seen you a couple of years ago. You're back to the same look. I think you look much more younger than what you used to look before your wedding. Oh my God.
It's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have had these kind of compliments through the day, through the weeks, through the months, I think back to back.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure you know that you do. Okay, great. So Raina, please tell us something about your professional life. I mean, let our people know about you. How was your professional life or a career until you got married, and then we'll take it over on you being a mother influencer.
Cool. So I did my MBA and I got an offer from one of the top consulting firms called Deloitte. And I worked there for a couple of years. I loved being there. In fact, I wanted to make money so that I could travel, And post that, I moved to another company, which is where I'm working today. It's one of the top edtechs currently globally. And that's what I've done till now. I'm an HR professional. I hire for them across the globe. I got married. Everything remained the same. My work, my life, and I have a baby, and I'm still with the same company, and things are still the same.
Very good. I would want to take now all the attention on the moment you said you are a mother, you have a baby. So the entire focus right now is about becoming a mother, accepting motherhood. But there are a lot of apprehensions, there are a lot of thought process, there's a lot of question mark in current days new age parents that we see, because we get a lot of queries, we get a lot of clients who are really concerned about how they're going to lead their life, and a family pressure or a push to now let's extend the family and have a baby and stuff like that. So here on, want to ask you that how was your feeling to accept the news of pregnancy, which is obviously as a mother, but was there any thought that अरे अब चीज़ें चेंज हो जाएंगी या अब मुझे चेंज होना है, any such element of doubt when you received or when you got the news of you being pregnant?
Well, I wasn't expecting it. So that was a surprise to me. I was never worried about being a mother because I believe I've been a product of excellent parenting, and I've seen that. And I know how my parents have raised me, and I've learned how they've raised me. And I knew that when I have a baby, all I have to do is just follow their footsteps. So I was never worried about being a parent or a mother. I was worried about, is this the right time? I was worried about, what about my US trip that's coming up?
Okay.
I was worried about, what if I want to switch my job, change a career, do something different? So my worry was kind of about, is this the right time? Could I have waited 6 more months? But there was no other worry apart from that.
So were your worries justified? They were genuine, or it just got wiped off with the time as you had your baby?
Well, I think when you receive the news, you usually have mixed feelings sometimes, but it's largely a very, very good feeling. So the moment you get into that entire mood, the zone, you just change as a person a little here and there every moment. A couple of dreams get kind of squished sometimes. Like, I couldn't take that US trip. But of course, no regrets with that. I will go sometime. So things change a little here and there. But only to an extent that you want them to, and only for a certain amount of time. You know that they're not going to be forever. It's going to go back at some point in time. So that is there, and once you know that, it's not an issue at all.
Perfect. So, as we, people who know you and people who will follow your Instagram now after this, we've seen you going to places. Okay. So, all the way from you being stacked to getting married and now being a mother. One thing that is a constant thing that I've seen on your page or through your pictures, you talk a lot, is traveling is like the essence of your being. Traveling is like a therapy. Traveling is like Raina is equal to traveling. So, how was this journey of your pregnancy, maintaining your travel while you were pregnant? If you were traveling, I don't know. So, if you can highlight this for the new age mothers who are deciding to conceive a child or already conceiving one. Yeah.
Right. So one thing that people mistake is that, they think that when you get pregnant, things change completely, or you have to change. But that's not the case. It's not a disease. It's probably a beautiful phase in your life. It's going to be different. It's not going to be an issue. There is no problem, right? So when I got pregnant, in fact, I was overconfident. I was like,
Okay.
9 months, 9 countries, let's
Oh,
do
wow.
it, etc.
Oh my God.
But then I was slammed to reality. Pregnancy gives you a lot of different changes in your body. I had excessive nausea. I had a very difficult pregnancy, to be honest. I couldn't do a lot of things in the initial few weeks, few months. But then I was waiting for that one moment that, the minute I get better, the first thing I'm going to do is take a flight.
Wow.
And that's exactly what I did. So I had 4 to 5 months of excessive nausea, and there's nothing you can do about it except for the fact that just go through that, So I did what I could, and it kind of ends at some point in time. So 4 or 5 months into pregnancy, the nausea goes away. The hormones kind of change, and that goes away. The minute my nausea went, I was on my mobile phone booking a flight to
Okay.
the next country that I wanted to go, and that's what I did. So in fact, I went with my best friend. We did a vacation where we actually even did a mom photo shoot over there. I went to a
Wow.
country which is a very god-forsaken country. Some people might not know about it. We went to Uzbekistan, and we actually did like a week-long trip there. But that was the only trip I could manage during my pregnancy due to the issues that I faced.
But still, being a that daring mom that you are, which world will obviously see your Insta and will see this podcast. So, how was the feeling of being pregnant and now obviously facing the nausea, moving out, being to a different country, and then till the day of delivery? So, what changes do you think you go through? I'm not saying physical change. What I'm talking here is about your mental. Uh, I don't want to call it mental challenges, but for a girl to become a wife, then to become a mom, there's always a transition.
Yeah.
तो आपको पता है कि you're 1+1,
Right.
and to do what you want to do. Certain things medically you can't, okay, accepted. But otherwise, does Raina get overshadowed by being pregnant in the last few months now because you're about to deliver a child? So,
Right. So there are a lot of emotions that come into play because there are literally two hearts beating in a body, right? Can you digest that?
Wow.
No, it's really complex, and it's magical, in fact. So the entire journey is very magical. There are a lot of things that keep changing. By the moment you're changing as a person, you're having different thoughts. You're anxious at the same time. You're super happy, and you're super excited to see your what's going to come into your life. So. Constant changes that keep happening, and that's a very natural part of it. But what helps is knowing that change is the only constant during that period of time, and the fact that you have a support system that you can bank on. So that is what kind of takes you through that journey, despite everything that you face.
Super. So the reason why I asked you this question, because I know I have seen a lot of your gym training videos, self-coaching videos, which a couple of exercises, couple of moves that even I tried, which were really difficult. I'm talking about 2020 lockdown when we used to post a lot of videos. So did you miss your gymming and dancing activity, or it's okay to be doing gymming and dancing activities during your pregnancy, or till what month?
Well, I honestly didn't know about this till I got pregnant. I went to the doctor for my first visit and she said, "Oh, everything's good, all good, congratulations." I said, "Excellent. So, can I continue with my pole dancing tomorrow?" And she said, "What do you mean by pole dancing?" And I used to do pole dancing
I know
that time.
that, yes.
And I thought, I don't have a stomach, I don't have a tummy, I have nothing, I'm exactly the same. In fact, this is the time when I should do pole dancing, right? And she said, "No, for the first 3 months, you do nothing. You only rest." So the first 3 months of your pregnancy are very crucial.
Okay.
The first 12 weeks that are there is about your pregnancy to develop into that stage after which miscarriages don't happen or reduce. So that phase is very important. At this point in time, you're not supposed to exercise heavy, nothing. You're going to just do your routine, walk, relax, and wait for that time. Once you cross those 12 weeks, and if your doctor gives you a go ahead basis certain checkups, you're free to kind of, till at least the next 4 to 5 months, continue doing the kind of workout that you used to do at some point in time. You can't start something new,
Right.
but if your body was accustomed to doing something, if you ran before pregnancy, you can run during pregnancy.
Okay.
If you did yoga before pregnancy, you can do yoga
Okay.
during pregnancy. Likewise for cardio, etc., everything. So measured exercises which don't, have high impact jumping and things like that is
Yeah,
exactly
yes.
what you're supposed to do. So yeah, I did miss certain things. I used to love doing burpees. I'm a very
Oh, yeah.
energetic person, and I used to tell my trainer that I can't do these simple exercises, give me something more complex, and she said there's only so much that you can do, and we can increase the complexity, but you can't go jumping around the room. So yes, you can do a lot with a couple of exceptions, and if you can manage that, that's great.
Lovely. And because you're a dance freak, you're a music lover, you're a dance move lover, did you continue dancing till the 8th month, 9th month, or you had to stop that also?
Well, I was dancing in my heart because this was a great moment for me. But no, I didn't dance. I used to have a couple of little Zumba here and there in
Okay.
terms of my workout.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it.
Great. And now we move on to the question which most of the new age mothers would want to know. How do you feel once the baby is out and you know that now your responsibility is doubled up? But along with this, somewhere a strong personality like you, which I know, that you would want to keep Rena equally active as much as a new baby. Obviously, keeping your responsibilities on the top stake of priorities, but still somewhere that question runs, or somewhere that, but why, because runs in your mind, that where is Rena? Did that happen to you? Because making this question a little more elaborated, that mothers or the women who deliver, they feel अब बस life खत्म, ये हो गया, ये बच्चा हो गया, this is a big check post of my life, and here I am for next few years. So yeah, this is my question.
Right. So there are two things that people don't tell you, and I wasn't told either. The first one is that the first year of your marriage is not a honeymoon period. It's a period of struggle, adjustment, etc., etc. The second thing is that postpartum blues are real, and they are. Because if I could face them, anyone would. So, when I delivered a baby boy, I was happy, but I had mixed feelings because I always thought I'll be a girl mom. So that was one thing that kind of got me a little worried. How am I going to be a boy mom? That's a more difficult thing to do. So I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of mixed emotions that I was going through. How will I feed the baby? Be up multiple hours at night, etc., etc. So yes, postpartum blues are real. They exist. They happen to you, and the only way to deal with them is to rely on your support system. You have to take help. My parents were there. My husband was there. My in-laws were there. I stayed at my mother's house for 6 whole months.
Wow.
And my husband and my in-laws said, "You be at your mom's house till the time you're comfortable." And I kind of spent that amount of time at my mom's house, and with that support system, and that's the only thing that actually takes you through that.
I mean, I can imagine, but not everybody is lucky as you
Yeah.
are. So, in these 6 months, as you said, you have a support system, but still, as a professional, you the because the maximum years that you've lived as a professional or as an independent, strong personality, how is that personality taken care as in the existence of your life while you become a mother, which is a new tag to you? How do you balance that?
I think it's become very simple today because first, our government makes it a law that 6 months of maternity leave and paid maternity leave is what every woman gets.
Oh, lovely.
So that's one thing. Companies today give you that 6 months off, you get paid for it, you don't get stressed about it. And they also give you that leeway that if you had a complex pregnancy, you had issues, you can take some more time off. So that flexibility exists. Things like work from home, flexible hours, all of that helps you. Hiring help, all of this is what actually helps you bring you back to who you were. And I actually could rely on just not my support system, but also being in a job that gave me the benefit of working from home, flexible hours, etc. And I actually made use of that, ensured that I pull all those triggers to do justice to my baby and my work. And yeah.
So I'm trying to just bridge in the gap of certain questions that I had already. Okay, it is okay to ask for help. It is necessary that you get the help. So here it's not just one relation, that mother and child. It's child with reference to all the relationships that the child is also getting एज अ पैकेज विद अ मदर ऑब्वियसली. सो हर फैमिली मेम्बर की ये जिम्मेदारी है कि वो आपको वो पूरा सपोर्ट दे, ना कि सिर्फ बच्चे को खिलाने में हेल्प करे, ना कि सिर्फ बच्चे को पार्क ले, बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस. आई हैव सीन मोस्ट ऑफ देम they divide their duties for the baby. Somebody who will just take the baby for the garden in the morning, somebody will take baby for the ride in the evening, and if the baby is crying, some X person. So I think more than that support, the support should be given to the mother, which I am trying to filter out through your discussions that you're giving me, and it is necessary. So for you to be strong, your family around you should also be equally standing like they all have become mother. I mean, ऐसा feeling से support करना चाहिए कि हाँ हम हैं आपके साथ. I mean, this is what I filter it out. Am I right?
Yeah. No, that's right. Because I hear a lot of women saying that the minute the baby is born, it's all about the baby.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what makes them feel very sad, because it's all about the baby. Everyone's talking about the baby, asking about the baby. No one's asking about the mother, and that's not right. So if you take care of the mother, if you keep the mother happy, the baby is by default going to be happy.
Totally.
If the mother's happy, she's stress free, she's going to milk the child well, she's going to be healthy, she's going to recover well. And that's the essence of having a baby. You have to keep the mother happy. You have to love her. You have to ask about her before you ask about the baby.
Totally. If the baby has to be happy, the mother has to be happy.
Always.
Super. Lovely. I love this tagline. Great. And now my question moves on to a very interesting factor of your life, that is travel. What and when was your first travel with the baby or without the baby, but after pregnancy?
Well, after pregnancy, you cannot leave the baby and go anywhere.
Okay.
So by default, it was with my baby. I actually wanted to travel very soon, as early as I could with the baby. But there are certain things like, the baby has certain things like colic, etc., which develop in the child in the first couple of months. And you got to give the baby that sort of time to get used to the world that it's born into, get certain vaccinations in place so that the immunity is better. So I kind of decided to push the travel plans a little later, and we first took a trip to Hong Kong, which was when my baby was just about 7 months old, and I went with my friends who also have a baby. We went to Hong Kong because it's a quick, short destination, 5 small days, and that was my first trip, after which I traveled every 2 months.
Wow, you travel every 2 months?
Every 2 to 3 months with a baby.
Lovely, that's amazing. So it's possible to travel with a child. One thing I like about you, being a modern age mom, you still believe in the fact that once the baby is out there in the world, the mom has to be with the baby until the baby is independent, which is a wow factor for me, because I have seen families, I have seen certain new age moms, they leave the baby with the grandparents and they travel maybe for a day or for a week or a little different span of time. Here this element is very important for others to know that you can enjoy your travel life while being your baby tagged along, and obviously that's not just a responsibility, it's part of your love, it's part of your emotion also. Great. So coming to that question, so travel, obviously chalo theek hai, you travel. How do you take care of the food for your child? Because again there is a lot of finicky, or there's a lot of do's, don'ts, a lot of gyan out there from everybody, especially to the mom, that this is good for baby, this is not, feed this, don't feed this, XYZ, and lots of those stuff. So how do you tackle that, and what do you do to take care of the food for
So
your
I
child?
recently posted a reel which talks about what do I carry when I travel for my baby.
What do you carry?
And I literally carry nothing. I have to carry a stroller,
Okay.
a baby carrier, diapers, I don't have the bandwidth to carry food, right? So one of the things I do is I try to travel light even with a baby. And one of the important things that actually makes food travel easy is when you do something called as baby-led weaning, which is what I did.
What is that?
Baby-led weaning means that when at the age of 6 months, when you start solids, you don't feed the child, you let the child feed itself.
Okay.
So today, my baby is 18 months old. He eats everything on his own.
Wow.
And he started doing this at 6 months.
Wow.
So there are ways of doing this. You put the right food in front of them in the right way, correctly cooked, and you teach them how to eat. And that's what raises a fuss-free, flexible child. So that's the essence of actually traveling fuss-free. Because your child is used to textures and combinations of food, and it will eat whatever you give it. So that is one thing. And the second bit is I love to travel light. I don't like lugging around too many things. So I expose my baby to local, good, right foods like rice, vegetables, fruits, eggs, etc. So that's how I travel.
Lovely. Yeah, this is so cool. So here there is a space for you to talk to the mothers of a child which is 0 to 6 months or 0 to maybe a year, that you can tell them, coach them, or train them on how to train a child at 6 months on feeding themselves on their own, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there are different ways, but this baby-led weaning is something that I did, and I would recommend any mother to do this. Of course, I've gone through the process. I've read books, I've done my research, I've spoken to certain experts, and I've gone through the journey myself, doing the right things, wrong things, learning by mistakes. So I understand the essence of it. So I do help and guide my friends and anyone who comes talks to me about it, and I'm glad I can do that. But I would actually tell every parent to follow something like this so that you can raise a fuss-free child.
I'm sure if they follow you, they have that recipe, remedy, and ideas from you. Because what happens, you're a knowledge bank, and not that you need. It's like, once a wheel was invented, then nobody had to reinvent a wheel.
Right.
So you need not have 100 kids to come to a conclusion that what's the right way to raise a kid.
Correct.
One is enough for you to. so coming back to this, Raina, what I feel is in all this again, what mothers they go through is already they have a responsibility, and the me time, if there is any in one's life, that is lost. And I've seen a mom being sloshed in her duties, or so-called socializing, because people come to meet baby and stuff like that, being an Indian culture. So now my question is, do you find your me time in this responsible set of your duties? Do you get your me time?
Yeah. Look, me time is difficult to find, but you got to make it. So initially, after you deliver a baby, you're going to be, having a lot of things on your plate. So you might not have the time, or you wouldn't care about me time because you're very busy about doing things the right way. But once you're off those few weeks, you got to make time for yourself. For example, the minute my baby sleeps, I go work out.
Wow.
That's the only way I can work out. There's no other way, right? So that was my therapy, and I made it a decision that the minute my baby sleeps, I will go work out. That 30 minutes is all I've got, and that 30 minutes is all I need. Similarly, I love having a cup of coffee, and I want to make time for it. So once a week, I would keep my baby with my parents, my in-laws, and I would just step out, get coffee, get some desserts, and come back. So that's how I made me time for myself.
And it's absolutely guilt-free is what
It is, because you're spending all your time with your child. So if you take some time off for yourself so that you can spend better time and so that you can be a better person, and so that you can put in more effort, you got to take that time out for yourself.
Yeah, because you being a mother, your soul, your spirit has to be happy to share that further. And I feel people look at it only from one point of view, that okay, now she's a mother. But I feel it's not that she's a mother. She's a mother who will have to keep changing herself. Every 6 months, the baby changes. Because I remember we having a conversation where you said that can we get him at the podcast, and you said now he's become a big boy. He doesn't be at one place. It was easy to carry him in a pram or a carriage or whatever. But now, because the baby is changed, now the mother also again has to change. So how adaptable one should be, or what should be that formula to adapt this kind of 6 months change in a baby and a 6 months change in a mother? How easy and what should be the formula?
Look, there are a lot of changes all the time, but if I think about one thing, you shouldn't adjust yourself to the baby. You should make the baby adjust to your life. And that's what makes it good. Because you keep changing for the baby, you will lose your mind. But you gotta make the baby adjust to the life you're living, because that's the life the baby is going to live. So I try to involve my baby in everything. I take him out for a coffee, I take him out
Oh, wow.
to meet my friends. My husband and I go for a drive, we put him on the car seat, we take him out again. I take him out to my in law's house, my parents' house. So I take him around everywhere, on a flight, on a boat, everywhere that I can. But of course, with changing phases of the baby, things change and you got to adapt to it. Like, for example, a crawling baby is different than a running baby, right? So those phases change and you got to adapt to that.
Lovely. And how soon were you back to your routine workouts? Because now he's 18 months. So, how quick or how much time did you take to drop off the pregnancy weight, if there was any? And again, considering all the responsibility plus medical terminologies and your own will to be back to the shape or be back to what you love to see yourself in the mirror.
I had about surprisingly 9 to 10 kilos to lose after
Okay.
I delivered.
Okay.
And that's not less.
Okay.
But I was very clear that I want to shed it off as soon as possible. So the initial 2 months are only rest. You have to rest. Your body has to rest. You have to recover. And once you do, after the first 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks of rest, you can get back to working out very, very slowly, focusing on things like core strength, pelvic muscle strength, etc. So I started doing those things in a very phased manner. And I then got into, slowly getting back to my regular workouts, which included strength training, cardio, core workout, everything. In about 6 months, I went back to exactly what I was pre-pregnancy,
Wow.
weight-wise.
6 months.
Yeah.
And do you think this is a usual time or people take more than that? I think people just 50% or maybe more moms that I have seen, they've always added weight to themselves, and then the enthusiasm of being back to the original self is lost somewhere. How would you encourage those moms? And would you be, in this video or through your personal appointments, would you be interested in training them that yes, you can do it? How?
Yeah, I mean, most women just don't have that as a goal. Everything becomes about the child and things like that, and that's rightly so. But what about yourself? Do you want to not be what you were? So I think the first thing is for them to focus on themselves, because if they're fitter, their baby is going to be happier, healthier. They're going to be having more strength to take care of the child. And a baby grows, it becomes heavier. If you don't have the arm strength to carry your baby, you are going to start having issues where you'll have to go to the doctor or the physio or the ortho. So it's important that you get back to what you were. You get the strength back. You have, that kind of energy to deal with a running child who's going to be, walking around, crawling around, running around. So that's important. So the first thing is to ensure that you prioritize yourself. And if you decide to prioritize yourself, 6 to 8 months is all you need to get back to what you were.
Too good. I think when you mentioned this, it also highlighted one point to me that we've always heard this, and I usually keep repeating this to myself and podcasts that we do, that your child will not learn what you teach, but the child will learn what it sees. Okay. Same is when a child is seeing a parent being fit, a parent being prioritizing exercise. We feel that it's a 6 month old baby or a 1.5 year old baby, but actually their mind is receiving all the data and the information that they see, and what they see they will adopt when they are grown up. So fitness indirectly is not just for you to become fit, but also for a child to keep see and learn through that ki, हाँ यार, fitness is important. So for people who still feel that it's a little selfish motto of a mother to be back to the fitness, it's not actually the truth. The truth is that by doing this, as your points were very, very valid, that there are parents who feel guilty of not being able to pick their child because they are weak. And why they are weak is because they never prioritize themselves. And I mean, this entire set of conversation is going in some really lovely direction, because it just doesn't talk about mom, it also talks about a child that a mom is, raising. And I mean, this is super, Raina. You are too good with fitness, travel, and being with the baby. So now one more question adding to this is, how frequently do you travel alone, like now because your baby is 1.5, for your work or for your leisure or for your me time? And this is not about your coffee time, this is about leaving the baby for more than a day. Have you done that in last 1.5 year?
So I haven't done that yet. I intend to do that, but I wasn't able to because I'm still feeding my baby. So I really believe I really believe in one thing, that if you can, you must breastfeed your baby as long as you can. And I don't want to highlight about the benefits of it, but it's all over the internet. You know that
Yeah.
it's gold for the child. So I haven't yet weaned my baby off, and hence I'm not in a position right now to leave him and go away somewhere. But once I do, probably when he's around 2.5 years old, that's when I think would be the right time for me to leave him for a couple of days with the grandparents, and I could take a trip away without him.
Lovely, lovely. And he'll learn a lot of things from grandparents also.
Oh, he loves them.
Because that set of knowledge is again a gold mine for the child. Because
That's right.
the best time that you spend is with parents, yes, but grandparents is.
Yeah, at Dadi house and Nani house, as
Oh,
they call it.
absolutely, absolutely. Great. Now, my important question: how can people get in touch with you, to talk to you, to know you more, and to know if they are ready to, become, especially not the parent, I'm talking only the mother side of the parent, that कि क्या वो mentally ready कैसे हो सकती है, और अगर ऑलरेडी प्रेग्नेंट है तो उसे क्या करना चाहिए, और अगर ऑलरेडी बेबी है 0 to 2 years के बीच में, then how can they motivate themselves through you, through your knowledge, through your medium, through your books, and through your videos, or through your appointments? How can you help them? Because we need more wiser people who can take care of themselves and eventually of their baby.
That's right. I have an Instagram page, Raina.Mehta35. I post a lot of content about being a mother, being a new mother, about food, about fitness, about postpartum fitness. So, they can reach out to me on my Instagram page. I'm usually available, and I can then get in touch with them and take it forward.
Great. So they all can have happy parenting, and especially happy motherhood is what I would want to quote it as. Lovely, Rana. I think some great insights. And the best part is keeping your own health, your priorities, your relationships still a priority, and still giving in equal importance to the child, and then being on the podcast like this, talking all the deep insights of motherhood. Really happy to have a lovely chat with you. Superb, Rana.
Thank you,
so
Kunal, for
much,
this.
Rana, for being on the show. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of calls from a lot of mothers to be, and a lot of moms who are already having their babies in the arm or the carriage or whatever. But I think you set a different level of being what do you call, a super mom, not just for your child, but for a lot of other mothers who look up to you and decide to become a mom or decide to take care of themselves, being a great mom for their child. Lovely, Rana. Superb.
Thanks, Kunal. This was such a great conversation.
Thank you.